so much. I should start with thanking so many, but then word of thanks normally we have it in the end. But then before that, good evening, everyone. Hope you all are safe and you are all at home only and keeping good health. Before I begin, I would like to thank JC Pavan to remember me and inviting me because it's been long since we thought of having something together. Pavan had been asking me for after Nalanda sessions. I mean, a long back it's been. So he had asked me to be there in Vizag to conduct the sessions, but then uh, those things couldn't happen. But now, like maybe through webinar, I'm able to get in touch with everyone. I'm able to see you all. Not able to see you. That's the regret. I wish I could be there and meet you all in person. That would have been the best thing. But nonetheless, we have to be positive. So this is also good enough. At least you are able to see me. I'll be able to interact with you all. Thank you everybody. Thank you JCI Vizag Green City for inviting me and organizing this webinar, and plus JCI Tuni Jewels. Though Tuni Jewels, I mean, is it from Vizag only? I was not very sure. So I hope it is from Vizag itself, because normally, is it Pawan?
It's near to Vizag, on the border of Vizag district.
Okay, the place is called Tuni or what?
Tuni only.
Okay. So the place is Tuni. I was wondering, how come we don't have a place in front of the JCI tag given? Okay, so Tuni is the place, and the jewels out there, all shining. Unable to see, unfortunate, but then good to be here with you all. Today's session, before I begin, let me just start with the screening and all. Give me just few seconds. Okay, are you able to see my
Yes.
Yes, we can see.
You can see now? Okay, fine. Give me a minute. Okay, fine. I think I'll be able to make it. Good to go. Let's begin with the session. Bounce back. Now, many people were wondering, why this topic itself, bounce back. Bounce back, many had thought it to be, those trampolines where you get to bounce back. And what is the point of having such a topic? But no, even in the trampoline, once you fell down, after you fall down, then you bounce back. And that's the beauty of it. So there are people who had bounced back in their life. There are people, they have not given up in their life. Those people are normally called as rubber band people, the spring folks. So you would be knowing so many people who had bounced back in their life, and they are called as rubber band people, the spring folks. So many of you would be called, I mean, many of you would have come back like that. You would have never given up in your life. So you are also rubber band people and the spring folks. Now, why this? I mean, during Corona, there were so many people, they were thinking this would be the end of it. Our business is gone now. The life is going to change. The entire system is going to change. So there was so much of chaos. People were not very sure now what. So that is the reason why I thought of having this session on bounce back. And Pawan also agreed with me that we'll go with this topic only. There were a couple of them. It was Pawan's choice to have this topic. So thank you, Pawan, again for choosing this topic. Now, about the rubber band people and the spring force, I'm going to ask you a couple of people. I'm going to show you. We'll have a quiz in the beginning. I want you to identify these rubber band people, these spring folks, and tell me who these people are. Okay, so it's going to be a quiz session. You have to just answer in the chat box. You can just type it in the chat box and let me know. Okay, I'm going to show a person. I'm going to ask about a person, a guy from the Bollywood. He was a former chemist and a watchman, and he's a contemporary cinema's finest actor we have, and we all enjoy his performance. He's a no, actor par excellence. But then the thing out here is he was a chemist and a watchman. He bounced back in his life. He had those dreams in his life, and he wanted to come back. And he, he became an actor. Then now people know him by his acting skills. Who is this person I'm talking about? He's an actor from Bollywood. Actor from Bollywood. Any guesses? You can type, if at all you have any wild guesses, you can type in the chat box. No one? A chemist and a watchman. He was a former chemist and a watchman. I understand, from South, if I would have asked anything from the South actors, you would have answered. But this from a Bollywood, a bit difficult, I guess. But then still, okay, I'll show you. You'll at least recognize this person, I guess.
You got 4 replies.
Huh?
You got replies from Mona Sharma. It is Nawazuddin Siddiqui.
I'm so sorry. I couldn't see this here. Okay, I just saw that. Yeah, right. It is Nawazuddin Siddiqui. He was a chemist, and then he, watchman, and then an actor now. A very well appreciated actor. Like, people love to watch his films. The next person I'm going to show here is a person who was raped, abused early in her career, and publicly fired from her first job, which was as an anchor. She was working in a television, and today she's one of the most powerful media person we have. She's a billionaire, world's most powerful media billionaire. She was raped and abused. She's not an Indian. You can type the answer here. Oh yes, Meenakshi is right. That is Oprah Winfrey. She is Oprah Winfrey. Lady Gaga. Okay, Vijaya had written Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga, I don't know whether she was, she's not a billionaire media anchor, I guess. Lady Gaga is a singer, so she's not, I don't think she was an anchor. But then anyway, you tried, great. So she's Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, right. So we'll go to the next person. Again, if I talk about Oprah Winfrey, she had a very terrifying childhood. And even during her when she was young, even when she was teenager, then when she started working in the television, she had a very bad, her life experiences were not good. But then she bounced back in her life. She's Oprah. The next person I'm going to introduce is, she's an athletic champion, and in an athletic championship, this Assamese sprinter's father brought her a normal running shoes. Okay, she wrote Adidas on them. Today, Adidas makes shoes with her name on them, and she's also called as the Ding Express. Who is she? Who am I talking about? Mary Kom she's not an athlete, she's a boxer. Mary Kom is a boxer. I'm talking about an athlete. She didn't have a run. Yes, I got an answer from Vijaya. Vijaya, yes, you're right. That's Hima Das. Yes, Araman, you're also right. PT Usha is not Ding Express. She's known as Payoli Express. Yeah, she's known as Payoli Express. And but then yes, you're right, Vijaya. Vijaya, you're right. She is Hima Das. And Hima Das, she always wanted to have a branded shoes. She wanted to wear a branded shoes. When her father got a normal shoes, she felt like she should have one. So she wrote Adidas with her ink, with her ink pen, and she wore that Adidas shoes, that created by her, no, by her herself, and she wore it for a championship. And today, the Adidas is making making shoes with her own name, with her name. So that's great. Another person who she also bounced back in her life with nothing, and now she is a hope for India for Olympic medal. I know she's going to compete Olympics next time. I think we are going to have it in 2021. 2020 got cancelled and it got postponed. So we are going to have our Olympics in 2021. So hoping, fingers crossed. Actually, let's hope she gets a medal for India in Olympics. Next, I'm going to show that's Hima Das for you. You can see the shoe with her name. The brand name is Hima. So that is Adizero. Next, I'm talking about lady, 7-time Indian women's volleyball player. She was a volleyball player of Indian volleyball player. Assaulted on train, pushed out, legs got crushed under her wheels of the train. Rats were nibbling on the remaining stump of the piece of the leg. She's the world's first female amputee to scale Mount Everest, and after that, 6 other peaks she she could scale next 6 peaks. But then but not Bachendri Pal Monaji. Bachendri Pal is a normal lady. She's not an amputee. Yeah, Vijay, you're right. She's Arunima Sinha. I got answers from a couple of you out there. Rishita, yes, right. You are right. Imagine this lady, Arunima Sinha, that's her, Arunima Sinha. When she was thrown out of the train, she was lying on the tracks, and she could see the trains passing through her legs. Imagine 49. She said she counted 49 trains. She counted 49 trains passing through her legs, and she could see the rats nibbling her leg, the pieces of the legs. She could see that. But then she still felt that, yes, I'm born to do something great. If I can stay alive till somebody comes and saves me from here, I'll be able to do something great in this world. That was there in her mind. After the entire thing got over, she won. Bachendri Pal actually trained Arunima Sinha to climb Mount Everest, and Bachendri Pal really helped her. When Arunima went to her, and she wrote a letter to Bachendri Pal asking her to train her. Bachendri Pal straight away said, no, it's not possible, because she said, you are an amputee and I have trained all the normal people, not an amputee. It's very difficult to train an amputee. Climbing again is going to be difficult. It's going to be slower than rest of the people, but it will be more difficult to climb down. To come down is going to be more difficult. So here again, Arunima Sinha, after losing one leg, she thought of coming back, bouncing back in her life, and she scaled Mount Everest. Lady, a spring, she's a spring force, no doubt. She's a rubber band people, we can, a rubber band person, I can say that way for Arunima. So next person I'm going to show here is, this person was thrown out of the company, or he himself founded. He came back to make the company world's most valuable company. Who is this person I'm talking about? This man is a perfectionist, he was a perfectionist. This man was, yeah, Sonakshi, you're right. Steve Jobs. Yeah, I got all of you are right. Steve Jobs, the man loved by many because he started the touch screen. That's his thought of having a touch screen. Steve Jobs, the person who was thrown out from his own company he founded. He was such a perfectionist. To bounce back in his life, when I'm talking about bouncing back, to bounce back in his life, he had a room which was completely painted in white. It was a white wall, white ceiling, white flooring, everything white. And he didn't have a single furniture in his room because he was a perfectionist and he didn't want anything to disturb him. So he wanted to think beyond this, the falling. So he kept everything white so that he can think and can have a bigger picture in his life. That was the reason he kept everything white in his life. So this man again, Steve Jobs, uh, he also bounced back in his life, but unfortunately he got something. No, he had cancer, and which he couldn't. Though he fought for a long, but he succumbed to. He succumbs to that cancer, and he couldn't come back after that. But then that was. I mean, whatever he did in his life, he did great things. So that's Steve Jobs for you. So going to the next, that's Steve Jobs, the man who, the Apple and Steve Jobs are synonyms, So both with great value, who added great value to lives of many. So next, I have showed all those bouncing back people, those people who bounce back in their life. Now, the question here is, what would be the first step to bounce back? You can answer here. I mean, what do you think? If you have to bounce back, what would be the first step to bounce back in your life? What would be the first thing you should be doing? Believe in yourself. Okay. Bhavish said that it is believe in yourself. What else? Okay, that's good. Like, you should believe in self. Anything else? What would the first step to bounce back? The confidence. Okay, I got it from Madhu Babu that it's confidence, which is important. Burning desire, acceptance. Yes, Vijay, you're right. And realizing the situation. Okay, you people are really good, huh? It'll be easy for me to take the session because you're all like, it kind of. So not losing confidence. You're right. The first step I would say is realizing that you have failed and fallen, and so currently it is low. Things are low for you. That realizing, the realization is very important. You should realize that, okay, fine. So what? You have fallen. You have failed. Even maybe miserably. So what? It's okay, but accept it. You have to accept that things are not right now. Currently things are not right. Current situation, if you see the current situation of COVID-19, for many it is like a full stop. Okay, it's like if I use all those punctuation marks in the English language, many people would feel as if it is a full stop for them. They cannot even think beyond this. There are people who feel, it's just a pause. It's a comma. It's a pause. We can do something better, maybe. There, for many, it is like an exclamatory mark. Hey, what happened? Kind of a thing. They would be wondering, like, what is this? Like, they would be all, they don't know what is happening, kind of. And there would be people who are like having a question mark in their life. Now what? I mean, they are like clueless about what is going to happen now because they have a question mark in their life. Now is it everything is going to be online only, or is it like we can meet each others or not? So people are having various thoughts with all those commas, full stops, question marks and exclamatory marks and whatnot. But if you know that it's a place, like, now the condition, current situation, and if you really want to bounce back, you have to realize that, this is a situation, this will also pass. This is not going to stay like this forever. Maybe at the max till maybe a vaccine is invented, or maybe the medicines are, they are going to invent the medicines. Till then, yes, it's going to stay maybe like this. It may take months, it may take year, maybe couple of years, but then you'll have to understand that, accept the situation, and then you will be able to bounce back in your life. And then maybe you'll have to think in a different way. I mean, you'll have to turn the table and maybe, think in a different what do you call, direction altogether. So the first step would be realizing that you have fallen, you have failed in life, or maybe it's like, it's a down period for you, it's not that good for you, is okay. The second would be realizing that you can't give up. This moment, if you give up, that's the end of it. You just can't give up right now. You have to fight back, you have to bounce back. The realization will help you to maybe, come back. The realization of that, no, yes, how is it possible? No, the realization that you can't give up, that needs to have something, that is the that would be the purpose of your life actually. Your purpose of your life will help you not to give up in your life. Something like, the purpose can be anything. It can be helping others, it can be taking care of your family. The purpose of your life can be anything. Or maybe the best is like, to keep yourself happy is the purpose of your life, can be. So you may have various purposes, you will have your own purposes, so you all are going to have different purposes. So just remember your purpose in your life and don't give up. So realizing that I am not going to give up is the second step. What would be the third step? The third step is the realizing thing that you can do it. When you realize that you can do it, you will, take another step, to go ahead in your life. And the last is, you will do it and you will bounce back. That would be the moment you bounce back, that's it. You will take the leap, would be a little, maybe farther than where you are currently. You will be better next time. I have heard a couple of people saying that this is the best time of our life. We are enjoying it. We are learning something. We are, maybe we are reading something new. We are gaining our knowledge. But then I still would say this won't be the best time. Right now, you're preparing for your best. So your future is always, going to be best, because right now you're preparing for your best. This is better time for you to prepare. So do that. So you'll be bouncing back once you realize all these things. So here, I'm going to share with you a person. This man I'm talking about he's from Gaya district. Galore is where the village from where he is. This man, when he was a kid, he ran away from the village, and he was not happy with that village, because that village, Galore, I'm talking about the village called Galore, which is in Gaya district, but Gaya district, Bihar. So this place didn't have, this village is surrounded by mountain ranges, and the nearest town or the city, that is Gaya, which is almost 70 kilometers from here. And it was it's far. It is not that far, but it is far because of the mountain, the hills around that village. Otherwise, if there was no hill, Gaya would have been just 15 kilometers or something. It was very near. It was not very far, it's very near. But because of the hills surrounded, the hills which were there, they had to take, they have to, if they have to go to Gaya, they have to travel almost 70 kilometers, which was quite far, This village didn't have hospitals, no good schools, nothing as like, if we talk about all those facilities, it was not available in that village. This child, he ran away from that village because of those reasons, but then came back when he became an adult. He came back again to the village, and he fell in love with a girl there. Falguni was her name, whom he used to call very lovingly Fagunia. And he was young. He got a work there. I mean, he started working there as a laborer, and he married his lady love, Fagunia, and then things were going smoothly, but later later on, like they had children and all. One day, Fagunia was going to meet him at his field. They both were madly in love, actually, even after like so many years of marriage. Uh, Falguni, I also now started calling Fagunia. That's her nickname. Falguni fell, and she was hurt very badly, and she was bleeding very badly. This man, her husband, couldn't take her to the clinic because the hospital was quite far, because he had to cross the entire 70 kilometers to reach there, which was quite far. And he couldn't even cross the hills with the lady, the wounded lady, no, the wounded wife. But uh, his wife died. Fagunia died because of the injuries. It was a fatal accident, so she died. And but then he didn't stop there. He felt that what I have gone through, the pain I had to gone through, the entire, like the pain of losing uh, his beloved. He thought that I'll never let anyone go through the same pain. He thought that let me do something about this hill. He started he thought, like, if I have to shorten the distance of the hospital to this village, I have to really maybe cut this mountain. Yeah, many of you have written the answer to this place. I mean, this Vijaya and Bhavesh, you have no. Yes, yes, Nawazuddin Siddiqui had acted on in this movie. That you're right. So that's this man, Dashrath Manji. Dashrath Manji. If you see this man, he looks like a beggar. But then this man had so much of power. He could really cut the mountain. Can you imagine cutting a mountain? That too with just hammer and chisel. Just with hammer and chisel, he cut the mountains. This happened when his wife, after his wife's death, he started doing this in 1960. He started with in 1960 with just a hammer and a chisel. People said that he's gone mad. After his wife's death, he's gone mad. What is he doing? But then he did not stop there. With the chisel and the hammer, he kept on working, and it was very difficult to even break a, a stone initially, but then he did not stop there. He continued doing that. People were making fun of him. They were mocking about what he was doing, but he didn't stop. After some time, people saw that there were some changes happening in the entire place. The mountain, I mean, he could start breaking the mountain. He was able to cut some places, and he was able to maybe break some of the huge stones there. People started helping him by feeding him. At least they started giving him food. They started getting some chisel and hammer for him. That's how people started helping him. He did not stop. He, how many days, I mean, it was not days, it was not months, it was not just few years, it was 22 years. 1960 he started, 1982 till then he continued. 22 years he continued with his work of this, Dashrath Manji from Gelor village. Imagine, this entire mountain was cut by this man. He was not young when he started doing this. He did it, and he continued doing this for 22 years. And this man is known as the mountain man because he cut this road for people to reach to the hospital, at least the medical facility. That this road or this area is almost 110 meters, the distance. And he did that on his own with only hammer and chisel. He did that. It was almost 8 hours. People used to take 8 hours to reach the hospital. To reach the hospital, they used to take almost 8 hours. Now it has reduced to just 15 minutes. Imagine how much. When I in the beginning, I told you about the purpose. His purpose in his life, the purpose of his life was just to help people to reach to the to get the medical facility ASAP, as soon as possible, kind of thing, because he didn't want what he had gone through. No one should be, should go through the same thing that was there in his mind. So uh, he that was the purpose for him. For that, he worked so hard for 22 years. He did, bouncing back. But that bouncing back, his purpose was this. He was completely shattered after his wife, but then the purpose was so clear to him. He started doing this. He bounced back. So that's the road he created. He made this road. Um, a setback is a setup for something better. If there is a setback in your life, maybe God has got better plans for you. Just think that way. God has got better plans for you. We all plan, but you don't know the plans of God. So just leave it to the Almighty. Let Him do His job. So if there is a setback, just think that this is a better setup for you for something better. Just relax, right? So all these people whom I had shown in the beginning, the quiz, I mean, those people, Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, Nawazuddin, Hima Das, and everybody, they all bounce back. One of the secret of their bouncing back is the resilience. They did not give up. In the beginning, I had shown that no, you cannot give up. So that giving up thing is like not giving up is the resilience that is helping you to not giving up. Be resilient. In Hindi you call it na zid hai, hut hai. So that you have to have that perseverance to go after something. If you have a clear picture in your mind, your vision is clear, your goal is clear to you, be after that. You your perseverance will take you to reach your goal in a maybe in an easy way. It has to be very clear, but though it's not a session on goal setting and all, but then you would have had one, I guess. So but the secret out here to bounce back is the resilience. I would like to have you heard of failing forward? Key to bouncing back, to bounce back is fail forward. Anybody heard of this? Fail forward. What is fail forward? Anybody heard about this? No. Okay. Fail. The word itself is failing, and then forward. Think of that. Okay. In short, if I say, I'll show you what it is. Before showing that, let me ask you another question. Have you heard of Rumble in the Jungle? Rumble in the Jungle. Yes, many of you would have heard about the Rumble in the Jungle. Any idea what was it? I mean, what is Rumble in the Jungle? Nope. Okay. Rumble in the Jungle. Okay, few of you have heard about Rumble in the Jungle. Okay, this was a match between. It was a World Heavyweight Championship actually, which happened in Kinshasa, Zaire. This happened in 1974. Okay, that's a jump. Actually, Zaire, Kinshasa is a place. It's a it's a jungle area actually. Kinshasa is a jungle area, and the people out there, they organized the World Heavyweight Championship there because they wanted the entire world's media to focus on this area, that is the Zaire. So they wanted me Am I visible now? Give me a minute. I think that. Okay, is it visible now? Fine. Hello. Am I visible? Am I audible? Is the screen being shared? Hello. Yeah, it is, no? Okay, fine.
Yes.
Yeah, fine, fine. I'll continue. So, sorry for this inconvenience, because at times you have to depend on something. So these things happen. But then I have to bounce back. I know that. So this is the, Rumble in the Jungle. We were at that place. This happened in Kinshasa. So this was a match between George Foreman and Muhammad Ali. Now George Foreman was the defending champion at that particular time. I'm talking about 1974. This fight happened in 1974. I think like many of you wouldn't have been born by then. So this match between George Foreman and Muhammad Ali, people were like the entire world was watching this fight, because again, George Foreman was the defending champion and Muhammad Ali, he was the he had won the year before. So these two men were so strong. People wanted to see their match. They want to watch this match. So this match was called as a Rumble in the Jungle. Now, this match was of 15 rounds. Normally, I mean, earlier it used to be the heavy world, world heavyweight championship used to be of 15 rounds. Now they have reduced to 12 or 10 like that. But then it used to be 15 rounds. George Foreman was very young comparatively. Like, if you compare at that particular time, George Foreman was 25 and Muhammad Ali was 32. And George Foreman, he started with the first. No, he started hitting so hard in the first round itself. First round, he was so powerful. He was like in with full force. He hit Muhammad Ali like anything. The hit was so bad that he fell down, but then he woke, got up. He was dodging himself. Muhammad Ali was dodging himself. First round, George Foreman won. Second round, again, George Foreman was leading. He was so powerful that again, he won. Third round, again, George won, because he was leading the entire thing. He was hitting Muhammad Ali like anything. And Muhammad Ali was trying to dodge himself. He was taking the support of the rope. He knew that, again, that was a technique he started. I would say he discovered that technique. Muhammad Ali discovered that technique of rope-a-dope. Now people use that word as rope-a-dope. So he was taking the support of the rope, so that the impact of the punches by George was not on him, but it was taken by the rope. So that was how he tried to minimize the punch. I asked you a question in the beginning, like, do you know about a fail forward? This is what it is now. Fail forward. Muhammad Ali, again, he lost the third round. Fourth round, again, George Foreman won. Fifth round, George again won. Sixth round, again, George Foreman won. Again, 3 minutes, each round of 3 minutes, George Foreman was beating like anything. Muhammad Ali was in the defending mode and George was in the attacking mode. Both of them fought like, again, Muhammad Ali was just trying to dodge himself, saving himself, but then throughout the fight till the sixth round, George was leading. But the seventh round, Muhammad Ali, till the sixth round, he was observing George. He wanted George to get tired of fighting. He was just watching everything happen, how George was hitting him. he was failing. Muhammad Ali was failing initially. The 6 rounds he was failing, but in the 7th round, after learning everything, he learned every from every punch. He was learning something. He hit back. Muhammad Ali started hitting George from the 7th round onwards. By then George was already very tired because he was in the attacking mode. He was very tired. Muhammad Ali hit back, and 7th round, the entire round, Muhammad Ali was leading. He was punching like anything. 8th round, and when the 8th round began, Muhammad Ali, it was he, with his entire power, he knocked out George Foreman in the 8th round. If you had seen till the 6th round, you would have thought that now Muhammad Ali is gone. He'll not be able to come up. He'll not be able to bounce back. But this match is known to be one of those the biggest bounce back kind of attack. This Rumble in the Jungle. This match is known to be the comeback kind of a event in the sports field altogether. In this match, both of them were paid equally, but again, who will be the champion was in question. After the 6 rounds, Muhammad Ali on the 8th, and in the 8th round, he won the match and he became the champion, world heavyweight champion in that round. After, he didn't have to wait so long also. This picture is a picture like, an epic altogether, I would say. This picture is known to be the bounce back kind of a thing. Now, when you talk about bounce back, this picture is known to be one of the most remembered event of the entire the world arena of sports, actually. So this is the bouncing back. If I talk the failing forward, he was if you ask me, the failing forward thing is till the 6th round, Muhammad Ali was learning from his failures, but then he was preparing for himself for the future. That is failing forward. You fail, but then you are preparing for yourself for the future forward. That was the thing. So fail forward means getting ready for the future, even during your failure. Currently, maybe you may feel that no, everything is like you're failing, nothing is happening and all, but then just observe what is happening around and get ready for the for bouncing back in your life once the corona is over. Maybe any time it takes, you don't know like how long will it take, but then be ready to bounce back in your life. So fail forward, be just learn from all those things which are happening around you right currently. So that's what you have to do. So resilience and patience will see us through throughout. Life is like a heavyweight boxing championship. You get so many blows. That's possible. You have to dodge some. You have to. I think there's some connection with that network. Okay. You have to dodge at times. You have to take the support of something. You have to take support of your people around, maybe your family, your friends, and all. So you have to be a champion at the end of the fight. Just think that this is a fight which is going on and you have to win. You have to bounce back in your life, right? So again, American Psychology Association says that most important factor for developing the resilience is having a healthy relationship. So keep your relationships all healthy, your family and everybody around, have a good relationship with people, understand them, maybe be helpful. So many things would be happening in your life now because people never thought, like in the beginning of 2020, I don't think you would have thought that this would be in March and April you will be sitting at home doing not much maybe, or being with the family and doing the household chores. You would have never thought in your life, not in the beginning of 2020 at least. You would have never thought, but this is what it is. this is the current situation is the reality. That is a reality. Just accept it. But you, if you have a good relationship with people around you, you are going to sail through this also without much of a trouble actually. So get ready, improve your relationship, have a healthy relationship with everyone. So going further, I'll just show you a person who uh, I think is one of the most resilient in his life. Why am I talking about resilience? Because if you have to bounce back, you have to be resilient. You have to have that zeal. You have to have that enthusiasm. Apart from all those things, that zid has to be there. That heart has to be there. That I have to do it. I have to bounce back. So this man, I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to play a video for you. Uh, this man, uh, he doesn't have a heart. If you don't have a heart, you are almost like dead. But then this man doesn't have a heart. He doesn't have a natural heart. He has an artificial heart. Just watch him, then I'll talk more about it. Just listen. Advertisement also. Daag achhe hain. So yeah, daag achhe hain. The scars are beautiful if there is a purpose for that daag also, for that stains also. So those scars, like you might have gone through so many ups and downs in your life, but then what kind of a person you are, it matters a lot. Now, are you a rubber band kind of a person who can come back? Even people stretch you, if you're able to come back and maybe take another shape, and maybe the whichever shape you want to, you can take, then you are going to bounce back in every failures of your life, or whenever you fall, you will be able to bounce back in your life. Or even if you are a person like spring like a person, even if you people just push you down, even if people de-shape you, or maybe not take your maybe they push you down, you'll be able to come back. If you are a spring like a person, you should be able to accept the changes around you. If you're able to accept, adapt to the changes happening, you will be able to bounce back in your life. So this is a life God has given you, and you have to be happy about that. And we are safe at home. At least we have a home to stay. God has been kind. God has been great that we have something for us. We are able to watch each other. We are able to even use internet facilities. We have so many things around us. We should be happy. At least we have so many things around. Instead of what we don't have, we should be more happy with what we have with us. So I think if you have to bounce back, you have to be ready to change in your life. If you can change in any situation, then you will be able to bounce back in your life. God has given you a wonderful life. So smile and face the world, no matter what, COVID-19 or anything in the life. Uh, keep smiling. Whatever you wear that smile on your face. Remember one thing: in the entire world, there's only one person in the whole world who can make you happy, and there's only one person in the whole world who can make you sad, and it is you. If you give someone else that access to make you sad, they will make you sad. If you don't give that access to anybody, the access will be with you only. Don't give your remote to anyone. Keep the remote with you only. You, if you want, no one will hurt you also. So keep smiling. It's your choice to smile or not to smile. So that's all from my side. Thank you all for being there with me. Over to you, Pawan. That's it from my side. Thank you. Okay. Madhu Babuji, over to you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Any questions on this session, please?
They're all, I think, people who are not going to give up. So they don't have any questions at all. Anything else you want to share with me, you can do that. I don't think so. There is any. Okay. How to motivate others? How to motivate others? Acha. But are you motivated? If you're not motivated, you will not be able to motivate anyone else. So you have to be motivated yourself. Self motivation is very important. So how to motivate others is a question asked by JCA Pravina. Uh, see, there are two things, motivation and inspiration. I hope you know the difference. Let me tell you. Motivation is something which has to come from within. I cannot motivate you because unless and until you want to get motivated, how can I motivate you? It's in your hand to be, to get motivated. You have to be self-starter. You have to be, self-motivator. I can't motivate you. I can inspire you. I can be an inspiration for many. Many people can, for an example, like, people might, anybody for that matter. If I say, looking at Amitabh Bachchan, I always, I know he's a person who inspires so many of them. At his age, he is able to, bring that vibrancy in him. His personality is very attractive. I always get inspired by Amitabh Bachchan. He doesn't know whether I'm getting inspired or not, but then he's inspiring me. Same way, you know, I can inspire someone, but then I cannot motivate anybody. So your question of, like, how to motivate others, don't motivate others. You cannot motivate others because unless until they want to get motivated, you can't do that. So just inspire others by doing great work because they'll follow you. People will follow you if you do wonderful things. So don't motivate, just inspire. There's another question. Many a time, Nimisha has asked, many a time we know not to give up, but many a times we can't do so. What to do? Uh, See, when you give up, your motive is not that strong. If you are very clear about your motive, when you are very clear that if you want it anyhow by hook or crooks, it's like that. When you know you want it for sure, you'll not give up. If you're if you are just okay with it, if you get it, it's fine. If you don't get it, that's also fine. Then you are going to give up. Then your motivation, your self motivation to achieve that goal of yours will be very low. That is the reason you give up. Your purpose behind that motive of yours would be very low. So that would be one of the reason why you give up. That means no, when you say, like, you can't do that, you can't be after something, you give up, then I think the interest in you towards that would be a little less. That may be one of the reasons. So just create that interest in you. Maybe you'll have to increase that love for that particular thing. So you don't give up then. Then there's a question from Pravina, especially kids increase sporting spirit. Okay, increase sporting spirit. I can give an example. I don't know whether we have time or not. Do we have it? We have time? Pawan?
Yes.
We have. Okay, I'll give you. I'm from Kerala. Got married to a Bihari actually. So my surname is Sinha. I'm from Kerala and I have met PT Usha also recently. But before that, that story is something different. When I was a kid, I was studying in a village school only where there was not much facility was not there. And my teachers saw me that I'm a good sprinter. I was very fast. I used to run very fast. My teachers observed me running. They told me, like, let's go for a competition. There was a annual sports meet in the village. There were many other schools also coming. So I want you also go and compete. I said, what am I going to get? So they said, just go and see how others are, running. So I went there. I won I won so many of the competitions. After that, my teachers told me that let's go for the district level competition for running. Okay, there was an athletic competition and the district level competition, and I asked him, what am I going to get? That was my question. I was young, so, and from a village, I was from village, so my sir told me that I'm going to give you glucose. I'll give you glucose to drink. And I said, okay, why am I going to get glucose? I had never tasted glucose till. So that was my motivation, to get glucose, to have glucose. That was my motivation. So I thought, like, let me try. I want to have glucose. So I said yes to sir. So I was taken for the competition. When I reached there, they had told me you have to be you have to be in your shorts, you have to wear a shirt, a jersey with the name and all, and you will have, like, there will be so many people, you have to come with your that starting plank and all. I was like, from that village, I didn't even have any shorts to wear. I was in my, I don't know what was I wearing. But then after I reached there, the first thing I asked my sir was like, sir, uh, when are you going to give me glucose? Because I want to have glucose. He said, unless and until you run, I'm not going to give glucose, because glucose, I know you'll get glucose only after you run. I said, fine. After seeing everybody, I got so scared because I was not ready for it, Only in my mind, I only had one thing, that was to have glucose. And the race started, and I turned back to sir before the race. I said, sir, do I really have to run? He said, yes, you have to run. Then only you will get the glucose. He showed me the glucose. I said, okay, fine, I'll run. And the race started, and I ran. From when I reached the midway, I stopped there and I came back. And sir said, what happened? I said, sir, I was so scared. I couldn't see anything. Sir, give me glucose, give me glucose. I started asking for glucose. He got so wild at me. He said, you came here only for glucose. Now have glucose. He took out a spoonful of glucose and opened my mouth and just pushed it inside my mouth. And he said, you have come for only glucose and you are getting only glucose. Do you know one thing? When you, the moment you stopped, now where you stopped, I could see you were second in the race. Why did you stop? I said, I was so scared, and not, I could see anything. I couldn't see anything. And in my mind, it was only glucose, and I came back. That was the reason. So when you had, increased sporting spirit, you said, my motivation was glucose. I came back. After that, my sir said, you came here for glucose, you got the glucose. But then if you had the shield, the trophy in your mind, you would have got the trophy. Believe me, I'm a national sports person. I have attended thrice in nationals, and I really did a good job there. And I was in the Eastern India. I was the fastest runner, and I was a sprint. I was a sprinter, and I was very fast. That my sir told me. My sir showed me that picture, and I got motivated. So no one can motivate others. You just have to motivate yourself. That's it. Thank you. That when you wrote the sporting spirit, that incident just came back in my memory. Thank you so much, Aman. Okay, this is something which is hidden from us. Okay, Pawan. Yeah, I didn't show. I'm a national sports person. Yeah, I have participated in national dance competitions also. I have won many accolades there too, but yes, thank you so much. I think there's no questions as such, but then yeah. Hey,
Bhavesh, President,
Bhavesh,
any remarks?
Sir, చెప్పండి.
Mr. Bhavesh,
Yes, sir, tell me.
any remarks?
No, sir, no remarks.
Okay, okay. Sir, Pawan garu,
Yeah.
to
Sarita
speak
ji,
a
that
few
was
words about
really
this session.
very good session. It's not about a session. I can say that you are connected more than the session. And almost after a decade, you can say 2011, I asked you for a session. In 2020, you came to
Yeah,
webinar. Hope
that's
so
good.
you will be coming this year or next year in person live to Visakhapatnam. I have been many times to Visakhapatnam, but not as a JCI trainer.
I know.
We'll be waiting for that moments to come. And we have a few other officers, two few zone officers. We recognize all the presence. And somewhat I couldn't give some good words because I was more connected to your session and giving a bounce back because I had some moments to give bounce back and where I had recovered. I got connected to those times. How I came back. And thank you very much. Thank you, Madhugaru. And so, what to you? I think we can have some remarks from the president of Tuni Jewels also.
Yeah, I would like
Okay.
I would like to thank
Uh,
everyone to be here. Actually, I did not thank a vote of thanks from my side. Actually, thank you everyone. Thank you the president of JCI Vizag Green City and JCI Tuni Jewel as well, and everybody, all the seniors who are present here and the juniors who are present, the kids and all who all are present here and listening to me. Thank you so much.
Gupta garu, Tuni Jewels president. Any remarks from you?
Garu లేనట్టున్నారు.
Okay. Ram Shankar garu.
Hello.
Zone coordinator. Ram Shankar garu.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, you.
To speak a few words about this session.
Yeah, ma'am, that is a wonderful, fantastic session, madam.
Thank you.
Actually, it's nice and it's a perfect session for me right now. There's a few points where it's been touched me.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your wonderful session, madam.
Thank you
This
so
is JC Hamashankar, Zone Director CSR from 2020.
CSR. That's nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Sarita, we had our Konalandian, this is Sudhanshu Gupta from Zone 3, Jain. Oh, boy. Sudhanshu, are you there?
Yes, yes. Ma'am, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. आपको तो बहुत टाइम के बाद सुनाई दे रहा है आपकी आवाज नहीं.
Same here, ma'am.
So how are
मैं
you?
एक दो सेशन और I am good, I am equally good. और आर्यमन का भी मैं सेशन अटेंड करता हूँ. So I feel so happy. आज
Thank you so
सेशन
much.
सर का भी सेशन था ना कुछ आज?
जी सर का चल ही रहा है. उनका
Okay.
सेशन चल रहा है सेशन.
चलिए मैम, all the best.
Thank you
Thank
सुधांशु
you for
जी.
this.
या बिल्कुल मिलते हैं, बात भी करते हैं, काफी टाइम हो गया है.
Yeah, बिल्कुल.
We also have Mona Sharma from Zone 13. Jessie Mona. She's also past JDP from Zone 13.
Oh, okay.
Mona ji, you can talk.
Voice is breaking.
Mona, one second. There is a very weak signal from you. Could you please check it out? The signal.
Hello.
Yeah,
Am I,
better.
hello.
Now you're audible.
Hello.
On.
I'm from Zone.
Madam, unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yeah, Mona, we can hear you. You can go.
Hello. Hello. Such a session is, madam. Bounce back. And thank us such stories. Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you, Munaji. Thank you so much. Though your voice is breaking, but then I could make out what you are saying. Thank you so much. You like the session and you like the topic also. That's what I think you said. Thank you so much.
Anyone else? Pawan garu?
Praveena garu is unmuted. She raised her.
Good evening, sir. Hello.
Yeah, you
Sir,
can.
good evening, sir. Hello.
Good evening, ma'am.
We can hear
Good
you. You can
evening.
hear.
Hello. Am I audible, sir?
Yes,
ma'am.
yes.
Good evening to special beautiful lady Sarita Sinha, ma'am. Thanks a lot for a wonderful session. And a special thanks to JCI Vizag Green City team and Pawan sir as well as Felicity Madhu Babu sir for conducting such a beautiful and excellent session. Very useful at this time because this is the moment which the whole country is going through that we are just end. We have just completed. And everyone is in a very pathetic condition. Then how we have to go on, how to do our business, how to make our kids study. At this moment, you have given a wonderful session, bounce back. Yes, we have to overcome with all the consequences, all the circumstances. I'm really heartfully thanks to you, ma'am. You have given a wonderful path for us, especially a woman, to go on with the kids, especially. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thank you a lot, Pawan sir, as well as the president of Vizag Green City. Thank you, sir.
Good to see my parents also watching me. Yeah, I can see them watching me. So, good.
I need to say them hi to both of them because I met
Yeah.
them last time in Gujarat. They traveled with us.
Yes, you met them. Yes, yes, you met my parents. They are watching. I can see them in the list. Yes. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Harikumar garu, you're there.
Hello,
Hello, Papa.
Mr. Pa. Hello, hello, hello. Very
Yes.
good. Today's program was good.
Okay,
You
thank you
are
so much.
really rocked.
Okay,
Really good.
thank you.
Really
That's
good.
my dad. That's my dad.
Nice.
I can repeat.
Nice, nice. Thank you. Mr. Pavan,
Yes,
good
sir. How are
evening.
you?
Good evening. Thank you for arranging a good show.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Okay.
Sarita had given me a chance after a long, long time.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank
And everybody stay safe, be home, and take care of yourself.
Yes, yes. You can watch your sister also now.
Thank
Yeah.
you, ma'am.
जान है तो जहान है. Now over to you.
Yeah, Madhu garu, you can.
Yeah.
Yes. Is it audible?
Please.
Okay. On behalf of JCA Vizag Green City, thank you very much. Thanks, especially thanks to JC Sarita Sinha Madam for a wonderful session. It's very excellent session, superb. Mostly example 1974 boxing competition. It's very heart-touching to the participants. Now, I thanks to JC Hamshankar, Law Advisor, JC Bhavesh, President, JC Vizag Green City, Srinivas, Secretary, JC Gupta from JC President, JC Tuni Jewels, and IPP Madhubabu Gobla. Finally, our Zone 4 Advisor, JC Pawan Kumar, JC Senator Pawan Kumar Garu, Zone 4 Zone Advisor, and our law mentor, JC Vizag Green City. Thank you Pawan Garu, for a wonderful session during this lockdown period. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Zone 4 participants, Zone 12, 18, and other zone participants. Especially, once again, thank you very much, madam, for a good session with your smiling face. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sarita, and thank you all the participants. And we'll meet for our next session. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.